Yes, it did. Yeah, it's changed over time for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the why now?
So my why now, is ultimately still, just still chasing that W. I guess for overcompensation of all the L's I've taken in the past due to my own, bad decisions.
Boom.
But ultimately,
Got it. Don't even mean to cut you off, brother. Got it. Your why is about you. That's why it doesn't push you.
Mhm.
The why is about you trying to rewrite your wrongs. And that's what's wrong with it. Because, go ahead, man.
No, honestly, it makes sense.
But why have you gone through the things that you've gone through if you're not going to use the things that you've gone through to help others not go through it? So maybe we need to really be thinking now is how do I empower a young Jared or younger Jareds or other Jareds to not make the same decisions that I made as a result of being in a better, utilizing the issues or the mistakes that I've made to do something with it. Your why has to get out of you trying to right your wrong, because here's why. You're trying to accomplish destiny by living in your history. Impossible. It's like driving a car forward and looking in the rearview mirror and trying to figure out why you keep running into stuff, right? But you really need to sit down in time and introspection and ask yourself, like, yo, seriously, why am I getting up every single day? What is my meaning? What's my purpose to this? And if that has become about you, this is why I'm telling you why it can't be about you. It'll live or die by how you feel that day. So if you feel fired up, tell me if I'm wrong, you're locked in, you're like, let's go. But the minute that feeling goes, and now the feeling of pain, not knowing, all these things come in, then it's easier to kind of be like, all right, we'll get back to another day. That's what we need to do, bro. We need to stretch that why, because it's not about you. You went through what you went through for others, but how are you utilizing it to help us to not make those mistakes? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you 100%.
Okay.
It's true.
We can fire off on two more things, and then I want to honor you guys this time. I know Gage, tell me and keep going, but I want to honor your time.
I have one more thing, Jovan.
Please.
Basically, the reason I said I struggled a little with the why is you brought up like the NFL players, right? When they attain that contract, you've seen NFL players struggle, right? Once they've achieved that success and to sustain it. But like to me, like that's why I've struggled with my why. It's like, right, we have these goals and we drive to them, but once we get there, is that like truly going to be our happiness? Like you said, we drive to this destination and the view is not what we thought it was, or that experience was. And that was that. Like that's to me is why I've really struggled to find why, because it's like what I'm striving for, is that really what's going to make me happy? Like is that if I get the $1 million, right, for example, is that really going to make me like happy? Like I think that's where I've struggled, is like what's deep down, like where I can look back and say like I got here and I'm happy because I did.
That's so real. It's important to define it. Here's where I'm going with this. Just like I told my friend, you got to define failure. You always have to define success for you. The truth is, for most of us, we're running with other people's definition of success, and that's what we're aiming for. And success to us is what we've seen our family go after, what we've seen they achieve, but we haven't clearly defined what success means to us. If you don't define what success means to you, you'll get to the end of your life realizing that you live somebody else's life. It's important for you to really get deep on what does success mean for you. I want to hit something here because it's I keep saying it's the reason I'm on this call. We gotta do this again, but we gotta take our time. Guys, there's not a person on this call that's not supposed to be here. That's not supposed to be in this moment on this call. And you guys have this opportunity in your hands. And what I think I want to get across the most is how are you maximizing and utilizing the opportunity that's in your hand? Because the result is not just about the opportunity, it's about the person who is plugged into the opportunity. You heard it this way, one person's trash is another person's what? Treasure, right? So the question that I want to ask you guys, how are you utilizing this opportunity? Here's why I'm saying this. There's not a person here that didn't give me a why that requires for you to do something that is bigger than you if you're going to accomplish that why. Like you guys talk about breaking generational pathologies, talk about providing for your family, giving back to them, talk about taking back your time, freedom, talk about being able to impact lives. You know, some say, Jovan, I don't know my why yet, or I don't have a why. But when you think about what you're looking to achieve, right, you have to ask yourself, how am I going to practically do it? And so the opportunity that you have right now in front of you is more than, if you grasp really what is entrusted to you, more than what you need to accomplish what it is that you're going after. But the truth is, we sometimes can be so passive with the opportunity because we're more focused on the what and the how and the why. I got to disagree with my brother Mason here, respectfully. I think it is dangerous to focus on the what and the how and not stay connected to the why. Because you will perform at a high level and you'll attain, but from a sustainability standpoint, and watch this, to attain it and to be fulfilled while doing it, there has to be alignment between that why and the what. So here's just where I want to hammer home, and I want to give you guys one thing to think about as you talk about rejuvenating your impact. You need 3 types of people in your life. Ready for it? People who need me, people who feed me, and people who release me. Write it down. People who need me, people who feed me, and people who release me. You don't have to go looking for people who need you, right or wrong. Everybody here at least mentioned 1 or 2 people that, like, they find me. I got family, I got people that I provide for, but very few people have people who feed me. Those are people who help you intellectually, stimulate you mentally, and from a business perspective, people who pour into you. And that's what I love about, you know, what I hear here when I'm even in my office. You guys have such an interesting culture that you're building that. Like, you have intentionality between people who feed you. But if you're only getting fed here, you're kind of robbing yourself of the opportunity to really grow the way you need to grow to accomplish this why. And then the last people who release you, that's like my wife who tells me to go ride on a scooter. I'm like, yo, you're tripping. I got to take over this world. I don't got time to be riding on no scooter. But I'll be honest with y'all, the first time we went together and I was mad. The second time we went, I wasn't that mad. The third time I went without her, because it was the best experience of my life, right? Here's why I'm saying that, because if you're going to accomplish this, and if you're going to do this in a real way, you have to also be able to disconnect so that you can reconnect, right? So you need 3 types of people in your life: feed me, need me, release me. I think I got a worksheet I'll give you guys here, something that you could just kind of take inventory of. But I just want to stop. G, I got time with you now, so I'm going over into your time. But any questions that you guys have specifically? Because obviously I can get on here and share a lot of information, but for it to be succinct, I have to make sure that I'm answering actual questions you guys have, because I want to leave you guys with something real, right? Something that you can truly latch on to today to just help you to go to the next level in your life.